What's good, everybody? It's Full-Time Trip. We're back in the building. Arsenal 3, Monaco 0 in the Champions League at the Emirates Stadium. That is 3 more points on the board. We go into third in the Champions League table, sitting comfortably, in those top 8 spaces to get through to the next rounds automatically with a couple games to go. Of course, I'm here with my dog, my Arsenal fan, my brother in arms, Mr. Timo Too Good. What's going on, Timo?
We bless, brother. We bless as always. Great to have a Champions League night on a Wednesday. None of that conference, none of that Europa League bullshit. We at the carpet and we're entertaining. But yeah, it's just good to be here and good to talk on the team in red.
Yes sir, man. Gotta know, make sure I like, comment, subscribe, and all that good stuff. But we can get right into the game again. 3-0 goals, 2 goals from Bukayo Saka and 1 from Kai Havertz on the day. I feel like this was a game marked by, one of the things that can say is a big sticking point that we've been, talking about over the past few years for an Arsenal team. But overall, enough to get through with the win compared to the Fulham game. There was a lot more, I feel like, again, a lot more free-flowing attack. We had a lot more chances to go through. Some of the additions that were there in the team, I feel like, did make a difference. I want to start with some select players just to kind of like gauge where you're standing in terms of a difference. First, I want to talk about Gabriel Jesus today. Again, he got the start. He was, again, a very lively, but just a different look and feel to, again, Havertz, different taste and profile in this game. But tell me what you saw from him, because I'm like, in my opinion, I think he did better, but still there was things where you feel like there's just tension in his play. But let me know how you felt about him.
I think tension is probably the perfect word to kind of describe what's going on. I think to start off, like the actual start of the game for me, spot on. I didn't see anything wrong. Very sharp, obviously on the turn, and on his press, receiving the ball, and also trying to create ball and play from deeper down the pitch. Seemed like he was right at home, which we were more regularly seeing from Jesus. I think where the problems lie were more so as soon as he's gotten time on the ball, he's just rushed it. And I think there's an element of nervousness, or there's something there. Maybe there's a lack of confidence because of the lack of game time and because of the injuries that are putting him in a position where we're talking 18 months ago, he's bagging. Or just before the World Cup, the last World Cup, he's bagging. Like there's no question about it. I think there needs to be an element of regularity with it, and I think he was rushing at his chances a bit more than the other players on the pitch. He weren't the only one. Obviously, that first half, Martinelli had a couple of chances. Odegaard had a really good chance. So it can happen to anybody. Obviously, we want our strikers to score, and we want our forwards to score more consistently. But I think the difference between him and Havertz on the day, it's just, I think the game probably demanded more in a sense from Jesus. I think where Havertz came on, it was kind of like, physically imposing, great first touch, great release of ball, and the height in his play obviously just opens up a different door for the players around him, and it's a different set of problems. And I say press-wise, like the same thing kind of resulted in regards to one of the goals being scored. So, I would say that Jesus just needs that confidence and that regular run of games, and hopefully, the next set of fixtures obviously do, accommodate him a bit more. But this was like a step in the right direction without being too critical.
Yeah, no, I agree. Again, this problem has, been a consistent fixture for him for as long as he's been a footballer at the top levels. Again, even with City and stuff, just his finishing in front of the goal. But now I feel like, again, it's mixed in with a mental and a kind of a rhythm and game flow situation to where he's just got to find the simple things, find the simple finishes, and he's got to push. He's got to find that rhythm again. And hopefully this was a performance that endeared him to people. Again, that assist, I think it wasn't a goal, but still, I think the assist was key to helping him. You saw the team kind of crowding around him after the assist. I know they feel it too. They want him to be, in full flow, in full step with with the rest of the squad as we go through. Again, my mentality is every man is needed. We don't have the facilities right now to get a striker because it's not a freaking January window. So we have to. Every man has to be on board. Every man has to be in full rhythm or as best as possible at their very best, and he's needed. He's a part of this. And again, his pressing, the link up, the dribbling, where he becomes a facilitator. Shouts to Nocturnal Gunner on Twitter. She said it as well. Beforehand, just being a facilitator, that's where he thrives. That's where he causes so much chaos, and if he's able to do a simple thing out of that chaos and provide, you know, simple balls on or you know, something that, you know, again, funnels into something, he's so productive, and he can take that raw chaos that he causes and help convert for us. And again, that assist was, you know, again, a part of it. A lot of his play was a part of it today. It's just a different feel to Havertz, who again, as soon as Havertz was brought up on the field, just the physical presence there alone pushed Monaco back. Whereas Jesus, again, he was dropping deeper. He's kind of floating around in different positions, which again, it's a different profile, it's a different taste, it's a different, you know, something that you put on the plate, but still can provide a lot of good for us in different game situations and game states. So Jesus is, as much as we're going to slate him on the finishing, as much as we should slate everybody on the finishing today, he's a necessary part of what we're doing, because every man needs to step up. Simple as that. So I understand you on that. I will put a quick mention on, I don't think Odegaard has some crazy moments, but there's just something that clicked in my head fully, and I noticed it now, and I was like, I gotta verbalize it. This is I don't want to slight everybody like that. Somebody on Twitter was like, yo, maybe he should get like a night nanny or something like that, because what's going on with him in the, like, you know, in the last third? What's happening with you on finish, bro? Like, you gotta, what's happening, though? You gotta babysit or something like that. But
you know what is with Odegaard? I think obviously we look at what he was able to do a couple of seasons ago in front of goal, and how his proficiency in front of goal has kind of dropped. I think there's a lot more, there's a higher demand in his role now that doesn't necessarily it doesn't
call for
indicate that. It doesn't really indicate towards finishing, which you know, either way, like, I think he's a player of immense quality and he can do it on any given day. I just think where he's having to run, press, you know, create, rotate in terms of different positions, in transition and even outside of like away from the ball and stuff like that, I just think like you can kind of forgive him a bit. But I think the press to even get the ball in the first place, that for me is already the hard work done. True. You know, and that from him, it seems like it's a piece of cake now, because he's added it to his game over the course of 2 seasons, and he's immense at it. I just think that finish, like, if that's in the Premier League, funnily enough, I actually think he scores. So, you know, it just could be one of those things where on the day it wasn't there, but you know, moving forward, he'll probably finish that with his eyes closed. But
I understand that. It's just like, again, those certain situations where it's him on the carry, and he knows, he's like, bro, either he's conserving himself, or he just knows he doesn't have the full leg to, like, either create distance, which, I mean, he's not an immense, you know, pace monger or anything like that, but and when he's in those positions, he might not be the most equipped to, I guess, to finish after those long carries, or again 1v1 situations where there was one of them where, again, he was clear 1v1 by himself, but then I think he might have scuffed it from the to the right hand side of the post or something like that. And somebody might have had something similar. I can't remember. I think it was Martinelli who might have scuffed it wide in a similar fashion, but not off of 1v1. But in those moments, I just feel a little bit less confident because he's running these hard yards, because he's running so much. The kind of the switch in his mind where he has to focus on that finish, it doesn't come as easily to him, you know what I'm saying, or at least in the full flow, you know what I mean? So when he's on the break, I'm a little less confident because he doesn't have the running power, and then after all the hard yards he is running to, you know what I'm saying, to get on the ball and press and do all these other things that are really critical work, which I absolutely credit him for. It's just like, damn, like in those little moments, am I being a little bit overcritical about final third stuff? Yes, I absolutely am. This is super nitpicky stuff. They're still fantastic players, but when in a time where we're all like, damn, we got to convert some shit, we have chance after chance after chance after chance, we got to make sure we like put this to bed. I want to see, you know, people do better there. So if somebody needs to be positioned a little bit stronger there, you know, to help support him on those runs, to try and get ahead of him in certain moments, or again, just be attuned to where he's at if he wins the ball, to, you know, spring forward and provide some support, whether that be Saka or somebody else. I hope it's somebody else in addition to him. You know, so be it. But I just want to see a higher level of efficiency and ruthlessness when it comes to people finishing, you know, in those breakaways, because we get a lot of those, man. We do get a lot more than people let on, and I just want somebody at the end of them, man. We could have put it. It could have been 4-0 at the half. It really could have been 4-0 at the half. when you really look at it. But it is what it is. But I can't fault him too much. But I'm just saying nitpicky things here and there. But I will say, Martinelli, I give him some again credit as well. I didn't think he had a bad game either. Just the finishing in front of the goal, and yeah, just more concentration at that end. You know what I'm saying? He's doing good work everywhere else on the pitch like he has been this season. It's just the decision making at the end, just the more confidence to do it. And maybe because Jesus was next to him, he had a little bit more license to run and make he was even underlapping at some points during the first half. Maybe because Jesus was there, kind of like brought him back to that the remnants of last season and the season before, of like, oh shit, I can kind of drift in, I can kind of do other things. Like he felt subconsciously encouraged to kind of make different things happen. But I want to see more of that, just more trending in the right direction.
I was saying that in the game as well. Like I felt like where he was kind of finding himself in more central areas with the ball, whether it be receiving the ball or being on the receiving end of the ball, it seemed like he lacks that sharpness. And I think when I say that, I mean in terms of actions with the ball. So where he was receiving the ball, it seemed as if it's not like he's uncomfortable receiving it in that scenario. No. I think the lack of time in those positions this season that he's kind of been there has obviously catered towards the misses that were present. Because night and day, if he finds himself in those positions more often, he is going to finish those chances. So I think it's very good in terms of like positionally where he was finding himself, and obviously where he was seeing that he could come deep to kind of travel with the ball centrally and cause a few more problems for the Monaco defense. But yeah, in the future, I think it's just a matter of consistently getting in those positions. And it's interesting because obviously we haven't spoken much about Miles Lewis-Skelly, but I feel like his introduction into things actually did contribute towards the way Martinelli had a bit more freedom to kind of roam in that area.
And Marino as well. Yeah, if we're gonna be honest, exactly. Again, the left-hand side, you know what I'm saying? Putting left footers on the left-hand side just to take up more comfortable positions and hold the ball a little bit longer. Gave Martinelli some more license to go some other places. Again, these things add up. It's not one singular thing that points to why Martinelli is overperforming and underperforming, but it's a mix of things. So it definitely does help that those two were there. I 100% agree with you on that point, though. Yeah, but I will say we can actually talk about, again, standout players that you got from this game. Give me two of your standout players. Give me your one standout player, and then give me your give me your man. Well, no, we'll see. I think we have the same man of the match anyways, so I'll hold that. So give me two standout players that is not your man of the match. Let's do that.
I actually think, okay, so this one might be a bit surprising.
Hey, listen, do what you gotta do. I have a guess who, but
I think Partey had a good game.
I knew you were gonna say it.
I think it's interesting because obviously I look like Twitter tacticals all over the place to tell you that five shouldn't be playing right back. It kind of destabilizes our balance and it doesn't allow us to really utilize Timber at the forefront. But where you've got fullbacks out injured and we need everybody to be back 100% and he's able to cover, he covers very well. I know there's obviously that that element of being able to aid Saka going forward, because I don't think he has any issues helping when it comes to the defensive duties. But I mean, Saka ends the game with 2 goals today, and it doesn't seem like Partey's put a foot wrong when trying to progress with the ball or getting out of tight situations. Seemed very calm and composed on the ball. Worked well on the side, on that same side with Odegaard, and even when there were switches in rotation between Marino and Rice, and even with Jorginho when he came on, it didn't seem like he put a foot wrong. So yeah, I'll say Partey is definitely one. That. And I think the other one would actually be Kiwior. I found that I think for the pair of them, obviously I look at Saliba and think like it's very rare you have a bad game. Facts. So I can take my eyes off of you for once. You know, see how the other players that are coming in and really looking to kind of solidify not just their status within the squad, but their importance to the cause at this moment in time.
Agree.
And I think a lot of questions and heads have been scratched with Kiwior because of Gabriel's dominance and because of his nature. But I think Kiwior actually proved quite a lot today with quite a stellar performance.
I agree with that. I agree with that, man. I think Partey did have a good game. I think just naturally how he is, and again, the rotations got better in the second half, and you know what I'm saying, when he had a bit more time to get on the ball, embedded in and such. But again, it was a little bit like hands off, where he didn't want to go too far in, because again, the recovery pace and trying to get get runs back if Ben Seguir or Mbolo was going to run down his side, a little bit more caution taken on that end. But otherwise, again, didn't really put too much of a foot wrong. I can understand again the hustle to actually again press certain things in his areas, still making solid passes from his zones. Like not much I could say against him, bro. It's a contract year. I know what you are. I know what you are, Thomas. I know what you are. Oh, Dan. Oh, you know what? Baliba, you better luck. We gotta find some availability. We watching other people, but I see what you're trying to do, Thomas. I see what you're trying to do. Good performance, but I know what you are. But yeah, that and Kiwior completely agree with. Again, in a time where we're so injury ridden, especially in the back line, people got to step up. And Kiwior, honestly, again, there is minor moments. Again, the Fulham game was again the minor calculations, but on that one mistake, he's still generally good. Again, the passing range today was honestly generally really good, outside of like one like crazy misplaced pass that was kind of unfortunate, but otherwise really good. Cleared his lines when he needed to. Again, put a body up. Was solid work, bro. So overall, he's not as bad as people are making him out to be, bro. Again, he's not fucking Rob Holding, guys. Let's be honest. I'm sorry, no disrespect to Rob, but like let's really put a spade. He's doing what he needs to do, and yeah, just got to make sure he's continues to do his numbers. I will say for me, the two standout players from this game that are not the man of the match, honorable mention, Mikel Merino will just miss out on these designations, but I think Mikel Merino did a really good job this game, just being tidy, again, just helping stop again certain things from progressing was really good. And again, just him being able to escape in tight spaces and drive with the ball was fantastic. I was loving just that. There's that insistence to escape, find the quick pass, and up the play just a little bit. He felt like a tempo starter for me today, as well as breaking some things up that were coming away from Monaco. So shout out to him. He gets an honorable mention. I will say my one standout, Declan Rice, bro. Let's really call spade a spade. Ever since he came back from that little toe break, worth his weight in gold, man. Again, he is worth his weight in gold, bro. Like, dictating the play, playing again. Just, you say he can't play forward passes? Y'all said he can't play forward passes.
I'm dead, bro.
Okay, all right. That's not what I saw today.
I even think to a degree, it was probably one of his better performances playing in that left 8, bro. Because obviously, I know there was rotation between him and Merino playing in that 6. But seeing how well he would like, and I know there's going to be a lot of time spent on how to kind of position his body when on the half turn and being able to drive forward. But it seemed like he just took the game to Monaco today.
Absolutely,
and it seemed very fearless and definitely something deliberate. So I'd like to see more actions like that in the future, but that performance was very solid. I do agree. 100
man. Declan was just the leading everything. And again, I know people are complaining about him not being in the 6, like again, like just universally the entire time this season, but for again different dynamic things, he's in the left 8 a lot of the time. And this is a trial run for when he actually is the lone 6 and can start to kickstart games by himself, find the passes, find the turns, find the runs. This is all, it all means something, bro. Everything relates to everything. I'm so serious on this. So whatever the frustrations with Rice in positioning may be, just know in the long term, it's going to play into something that makes him a much better player in the long run, in my opinion. But today was absolutely stellar. Again, did not shy away from the ball, was leading so many different things. Was very good. And the person that was not too far away from him, but helped be another pivot at times in that game, I got to give the other mention, Miles Lewis-Skelly. This guy is prime time. He's ready for the show. He's ready for the show, bro. Timo, say something, because I
think even Bukayo said it at the end of the game. He said, like, before the game, he had told Skelly that, like, this is his level. Like, this is where he's supposed to be. And telling a kid at 18 that this is your level, considering what Bukayo had to get through in order to get to where he's at, tells you a lot in terms of how confident the Arsenal squad feel about Skelly. Bro. And rightly so, because of that performance, like the touches, the aggression, the ability to keep the ball, even like the way he's even guarded his body to kind of protect the ball in such a manner it just tells you that this guy, like, I don't think it matters where you play him. He will literally take care of the ball and do his job. And clearly, like, just from seeing the way he was able to kind of take the ball and drive at times in central areas whilst the guy's supposed to be playing left back, just tells you that there's clear instruction in terms of how he needs to play, but there's a swagger and confidence about him that is undeniable. And at 18, he's been able to like deliver those kind of clear, like, incisive passes that obviously create goal scoring opportunities. He didn't do it once or twice, he did it all game. You know, so credit to him, because obviously having your first start, like, Champions League start for your club at 18 after making your senior debut early on in the season, just, you know, and I think the senior debut was against City, so in my head it's literally like the manager must think highly of you, and the rest of the squad do. So I would like to say, Skelly, well fucking done, you know, well done. I know you made your mother and the club proud, but more importantly, like, you know, I mean, you got something to prove, and you've done really well.
This is just the beginning. Again, in a time where he could feel a little bit scared, because, you know, the position depends on him and Kieran Tierney at the moment. You know what I mean? It's like in a time where the rest of the left backs are like out, and it's like, yo, it's down to you. It could be some pressure on him, but he don't feel no pressure. That performance did not tell me he felt anything at all, except, yo, I'm about to ball out on whoever's in front of me, and it don't matter who. Like, literally, it's just just the confidence and swagger, like you said, just the ability to just see the game, cutting through lines with line breaking passes, the physicality to stay with certain players, running through, inverting, just being on the ball, just the awareness. He was absolutely fantastic in my opinion, and he knows the baseline is only going to get higher from here as he builds physicality, builds again more again just all-around game sense, and just strength for the minutes again. Saw 67 minutes today, 66, 67, and again, he's only going to get higher from here. We just got to make sure we're shielding and protecting him properly, but in a time where we need a performance, he gave us a performance. I think that stamped him to, you know, start at the weekend, in my opinion. I think that earned him a start at the weekend. So wonderful performance from him. I was so proud to see what he did. Fantastic stuff. And man of the match, is it really in any doubt? Is it Bukayo Saka or not? Let's be honest.
I mean, it has to be.
All right, cool. I was just double checking. Is he not world class? 21 games in the season, 21 goals and assists. The only machine that is speaking to him is Mo Salah. That's it. Wow. Mo Salah's ahead of him because Mo Salah's a machine. But the only person that he's in running with is Bukayo Saka. That's the only conversation I'm having right now. That's it. Yeah. That is it.
I think even if you look at it from a perspective of just where we've kind of had that debate of where are the finishers present at the club, or like what's going on over the last few games, he's just the only one that just, like, no matter what, he's gonna give. He, like, if you want a definition of I'm leaving here with something, it's Bukayo Saka, because literally, like, if he don't leave with a goal, he's leaving with an assist. If he doesn't leave with an assist, he's living with a pre-assist. Like, there's something about the way the guy plays and his attitude towards the game and being able to involve teammates and be on the receiving end of, like, some quality moves that, you know, you just have that trust and belief that we're going to score. And you don't get, like I said, like you said already, like, you don't get that often with players. I mean, Salah's definitely one of those players in world football now, and he's having one of those seasons where you just know that he's going to consistently score throughout the whole season. But it's important to have that in your squad and in your starting 11, more importantly, because, like, there will be a period where, you know, you need a player to kind of come big in games, and he's come big in games, whether it be via goal, via assist, and no doubt about it. That's definitely he could have literally had 3 today, you know. So literally
could have scored a hat trick.
Yeah,
no problem.
You know, but it will come. It will definitely come, and we will be there. We will be there.
100 for facts. We will, bruh. I don't even world class. Argue with your mother. That's all I gotta say about that. But shout out to all the subs that came in as well, man. Shout out to Timber with the minutes. Trussard, Jorginho for calming the tempo down. Waneri with some good little cameo as well. Had some good little moments there. Kai Havertz changed the game again. His press and physical presence was just. It just sent Monaco all the way back and just threw him off. And again, for that third goal, you saw how much pressure it put on the keeper, and boom, there it goes. Gets a good finish as well. And yeah, bro, solid game. Real quick, a note. Give me some quick notes on Arteta. Again, in a moment where stuff is pressurized, you know what I'm saying? Through all the injuries, through all the things that have happened to us this season so far, third in the UCL table, third in the league. Got a good win with two easier fixtures at the end of this Champions League campaign. I know people said, you know, the league is tough. Some people have said the league is gone, which I think you're insane for saying that personally. But this point in the season so far, and with today's game in mind, how are you feeling about Mikel Arteta's performance?
I think you've actually got to go back a set of games where people looked at the sort of running we were at, even after the games against City and Liverpool, and they literally thought we were going to drop significant points. And there's like this element of, Arteta's not fit for the job, or he can't do this and he can't do that. And we've seen it all, like in terms of how he's kind of overcome that. And like, it's been an area of growth for him as well, because he's then been able to kind of now look at it and think, okay, this squad requires rest. I need to rotate, and I need to get the rotation right. And often than not, in the Champions League specifically, he's got that rotation spot on.
Facts.
In the league, I mean, the red cards have happened here and there, and I think it's just a matter of, you know, being able to kind of manage games better, which I think he's done perfectly since.
A good little bit.
And I think at this stage in the season, like if you told him at the start of the season, look, you'll be third in the league, but you're still within competitive distance, and you're third in the Champions League table with like 2 games to go, where you can effectively look to rotate and still play quite competitively across the board, he'd have snatched it and grabbed it in August. I think he's done fairly well. Criticism has been somewhat undeserved. We obviously know how Twitter tacticals like to speak out of anger after a result, whether it be a draw or a loss. I still think it's way too early to start saying things like, oh, like his time is done here, etc. Like that. Like, who else are you going to go out in world football to go and get this squad to play? Because I think you got to also understand that there will be at least 9 key figures in this team that will leave if Arteta's not there. So I think you need to take that into consideration when you make these outrageous statements.
And that's something that they do not mention. I'm like, bro,
they don't.
Everybody in the squad believes in this guy.
Yep.
They believe in him. So what makes you think that they'll just automatically jump on board and not look to move elsewhere if things don't go, and if he's just gone? If they just think, oh, we'll just remove him from the equation and then put somebody else right back in. It doesn't go plug in, plug out, bro. That's not how football works. That's not how it happens. So again, with the tools that he's had, and with the circumstances that have been put, into his position and such, I think he's done a solid job to, again,
pretty well.
learn and grow again with these rotations, with the game plans. I think he's put out really solid game plans. Just the execution sometimes hasn't been there. My issues with him on, again, just proactivity and rotation and certain platforming or deplatforming of certain players in certain situations have not been the best. But again, it's like galaxy brain, because there's so many elements at stake and at play. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And even in those games, there was moments where we could have taken the game. We could have taken it. Again, Fulham is ripe in my head, for example. But to be third in the Champions League, which I think we can be dark horses in this competition with how we've been playing. You know what I'm saying? Even if we haven't been creating the most or executing the most or converting the most, we've been mitigating teams to a whole hell of nothing. You know what I'm saying? And we've been able to, get pretty solid work in with set pieces and whatnot. I think we're a dark horse for this competition personally, but it's up to everybody's interpretation out there. Y'all believe what y'all believe, but this is a good step in the right direction, man. If the league is looking like it's in disarray and people want to like jump out the window over it, cool. I won't. But the Champions League has been a steady showing of quality from us, and I've been enjoying that. So good on Arteta for keeping us, going strong for the most part in the Champions League. Yeah. But all right, listen, that's all we got, man. That's all I got. Let us know in the comment section below how you felt about the game, how you felt about standout performers. Again, who would you like to see start at the weekend versus Ipswich, I believe, at home? Again, some really winnable games ahead. Some real, more digestible fixtures, but we got to keep momentum. We got to get some wins back. We got to get back in full swing as our players are integrated back in the squad with full health. And yeah, man. This is what we do, man. It's what we do. We keep moving on to the next one. Believe, people. Believe. Support. Be a fan. Be an Arsenal fan, bro. Don't let these rival fans gas you or nothing like that, bro. Don't let them get into your head, bro. You're an Arsenal fan. You stand up for the Arsenal. End of. All right? Cool.
Sir.
There you go. But that's been my time. I'm full-time Trip. Timo, thank you so much for joining me, dog.
Anytime, brother.
Listen, man. That's all the time we got. COYG. Peace.